Hey everyone, welcome back with Bino Mac. Once again, Wrestling Wednesday. It's going to be our final playthrough of WWE Smackdown. Here comes the pain. At least as far as Kane season mode goes. We're starting our tenure on Smackdown. And we already have a match against Chris Benoit. So we're already, this is kind of a good sign, honestly. I mean, we're already going against a pretty big name in the Smackdown Raw locker room. I don't know if he's like a world champion competitor, if he's in the world. Jeez, I can't even talk. I don't know if Chris Benoit is in the world title contention, but I know it's not a bad thing to be facing him on the card, especially first night in. So hopeful here. It's actually a very nice change of pace. It was amazing just how much aesthetically different both of these shows were. Even SmackDown and the Attitude Era and Raw in the Attitude Era, they looked very different. It wasn't just a color palette swap with red and blue. But I mean, this is definitely, it's understandable. I think that the Attitude Era Ovaltron was my favorite Smackdown design, but I mean the Smackdown Fist is a very close second. I can definitely understand why people liked it a lot, and what really puts it over for me is more so than the stage, just kind of the ring design, with the silver and blue. It's really disappointing that they went for the more uniform blue and black look later on, but I think this is what definitely helped to stand out. Even the referees having different colored shirts. They really did, at first at least, went all in on the, brand split. Which, I mean, it's totally understandable. They had so much talent. They really did have enough superstars at the time to have two mainstream shows. I'm not so sure about nowadays, though. But that said, I don't know what the hell actually goes on during Raw anymore. I think they still do the brand split, but it seems like SmackDown and, Roman Reigns being on SmackDown and stuff like that, that's where the main shows are, but I could be wrong. It's been so long since I watched the modern product. But as you can tell, I'm having trouble speaking today, I suppose. But, I don't know, I've decided that even if I don't end up the world champion at the end of this month, I'll have to do a replay of the season mode later on down the line, but I'm still hopeful that I will get a shot at that World Heavyweight title. Or actually, it's the WWE title at this time. I forgot that I'm used to like the later on 2005 brand split where the World Heavyweight title was on SmackDown and the WWE was on Raw with John Cena. Alright, I think we got him. First big win. Come on. Alright. Well, we're already doing pretty good. Cleveland, Ohio. We're going to do some training with Brock Lesnar here. Crazy to think he was the face of SmackDown, but only for a short period of time. It's funny though, even people complain saying that even back then, SmackDown was supposed to be second rate and all this and that. I don't really think so. Not in the slightest. Raw definitely was the more storyline oriented show, but when you had guys like Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar as the top guys, like I don't care what you say, like SmackDown, I wouldn't say it was one show was intended to be bigger than the other. I think they really were going for an even vibe at the time. But I don't know, I think history says, eventually it did become where I think even with the massive stars they had, SmackDown wasn't given as much, love. But I think at this time it was definitely, I don't care what anybody says, when SmackDown first started, it wasn't just the SmackDown 6 that everybody likes to talk about. Obviously they were the big, guys there, but I don't think that it was just because they worked harder that the show itself was better. If that makes sense. Like, they were all very talented. Obviously, all stars and future stars. Chavo Guerrero, yeah, you can maybe make an argument wasn't, but I'm not gonna be a dick like that. He was a very good wrestler, but I definitely think it was a case of they definitely wanted to have massive star power on both shows. And even later on, I mean, once again, like, I can say that, you know, eventually Raw really did start to just overtake all the big up-and-coming promising talent later on, and that's why it's definitely, you can definitely make the argument that the SmackDown was looked upon as less than Raw. But I don't know, they still had a lot of massive stars up until what felt like the end of it, maybe until like 2010, 2011, because you know, they still had stars like, obviously, you know, The Undertaker was on there for the longest time. He was the only person you could see on there. Obviously, you could see, you know, eventually they would do mixed, you know, the Raw Super shows and stuff like that. But that was after, like, nobody gave a shit about the brand split. Then Batista, his main, you know, world title run that everybody was all invested in behind him in was on SmackDown, of course. Eddie Guerrero, he was mainly, I think he's mostly associated as a SmackDown guy, in my opinion. Same with Rey Mysterio. So, I mean, they definitely had a lot of talent and a lot of good storylines. I mean, for me and my brother, SmackDown was the show, even back in, like, you know, 2006, 2007. So, I don't know. I mean, I think it's just a matter of opinion. Even if it isn't looked upon as, you know, the top show or whatever, it's really just kind of what the fans decide, in my opinion. But then again, I mean, I think a lot of fans like to be anti-authority in that kind of way. So I think, you know, Vince McMahon's a scumbag, but I think even before, you know, a lot of the really bad allegations came out, which, you know, there's always been shitty stuff that he's done. But even before that, like in the mainstream, I think with like Stone Cold stuff, I think people just liked. Oh, poor referee's on there. I wonder if I could slam him through. But unfortunately, I mean, I think a lot of people, kind of like nowadays, where it seems like everybody's so divided. I think back then, the whole thing was everybody was united and just not wanting to go with what they thought the company wanted to do. You know, like obviously people didn't like John Cena, and I don't know, I was mixed on him. I was younger, so I was definitely like that, yeah, you know, screw Cena, because my brother loved all the heels and stuff like that. But I don't know, I mean, nowadays it just seems like everybody's mixed on everything. I think everybody always had opinions, but I think now the fact that everybody can vocalize them so loudly, you know, it just seems like there's very rarely any universally more people. But that said, I think it has gotten a lot better. It seems like, you know, there's obviously people who don't like Cody Rhodes, but it seems like he's very popular nowadays. Roman Reigns is obviously, it's kind of funny once, you know, people hated him when he was the face, and then he turned heel, and all of a sudden everybody started loving him. Which, yeah, it's definitely a big change in character. I've seen him. He definitely has what it takes to be a star, and he definitely oozes that charisma now that he didn't really have, and, you know, when he was a face. And then, of course, you know, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, I think, got a little more popular, but I still think they're kind of on a lower echelon. You know, I think that might piss a lot of people off, but I think there's a reason why they were lower on the card during, you know, WrestleMania a few years ago with the Usos. Not that it's a bad spot to be in, it's just not main event, if you know what I mean. Then the Usos, of course, I mentioned them, they're pretty top tier tag team at this point. They've had they've had a long run on top as the top tag team, them and the New Day. And I can't really think of any other tag team that's really even come close to those two presentation wise, as far as how well they're booked, how long they've been on top and stuff like that. And then, yeah, I mean, I think they just have a lot more bigger stars nowadays that people are every time the records in the way, that people are just more invested in nowadays. Whereas I felt like back in like when the brand split first started, yeah, I think everybody liked AJ Styles, but you know, you got a lot of people complaining about Dean Ambrose, which, you know, I don't blame him. I'm not a big fan of Dean Ambrose. James Ellsworth was popular for like 2 weeks, and then everybody was sick of seeing him. that whole deal. So I mean, it just felt like Seth Rollins, you know, Roman Reigns, everybody was just so split. There was no way that we're gonna have it. Felt like there was no way they were ever gonna have a top star. Even people like Dolph Ziggler and Zack Ryder. I felt like there was still a lot of people that were just very vocal all the time about how much they hated him and how fans, you know, smart fans were ruining wrestling and stuff like that. It seems like they all kind of went to AEW though. I know that's gonna piss a lot of people off. Which, you know, once again, that's not really my intention. It's just, it's kind of interesting. That's just what I've noticed. But that said, I'm also not in the scene as big as I once was. But it's kind of cool I get to play as Brock Lesnar now, because like I said, I think he's #1 in this game. So, I mean, he's not doing too bad with damage-wise. Very easy to reverse with. It's amazing how jacked they made him in these games. And the F5, it never looked better than it did in these games. I think Shannon Moore, who's not in this game, I think he may have been intended to be included at one point. Like, I think you can see he has like the really crazy F5 where not only are they spun, but they're like, he's spun in the air and all this crazy shit. Like, you'll see it, and if I am able to actually, you know, nail a F5 on him. These refs, man, I'm telling you, they cannot stay out of the goddamn way. It's ridiculous. Alright, now I'm kind of in trouble. But he has no problem, you know, being an authoritative figure here, so good for the ref, I guess. But why? I gotta wonder what their thinking was, is why they just had the refs just standing there the whole time. Like, why is he even following me? Like, what the hell is going on with this dude? How did I miss? Jeez. Kind of worried too. I think he keeps trying to set me up for the gore, but the AI just isn't doing it right for whatever reason. Like, I think the idea is like they used to do it in the Aki games too, where they would throw you into the ropes and they would run into the ropes themselves. They hit you with a, you know, like a stronger move, like Edge with a spear and whatnot. But I don't know. It was just really weird. I think that keeps messing up or something. Yes. Yes. No. No. Damn it, I was so close. I mean, a big thing and probably why I don't like the tag team matches is because I don't know how to use my AI partner effectively. I'm sure if I knew how to do it with the timing, it wouldn't be a big deal. But once again, yeah, you can keep seeing like he's running towards me. I don't know. He could still probably theoretically hit me if he did that. It's just really weird. I don't know. Understand what he's trying to do, really. We're going to give Kane a shot here because they got 2 finishers, so we're going to see if we can put him away. Alright, come on. No rope break. Yes. Brock Lesnar, what are you doing? Are you serious? Come on, man. That's ridiculous. God damn it, Brock Lesnar. This is getting ridiculous. This is... Oh, he did hit me with it. Jeez. Well, it didn't really hurt that much, thankfully. Man. So it feels like you're restarting whenever somebody tags in. And will you get the hell away from me, Rhino? Maybe I can put him away with this. I'm hoping. Come on. No, no, not a rope break. Please. No. No. God damn it. Not even a 2? What the? I wasn't even going for the damn ref. This game is ridiculous. At least I know with the crippled crossface, there's no way I'm gonna lose to it because I'm not even damaged. probably gonna try and end it with Brock Lesnar. What? I feel like Brock Lesnar is doing more to prohibit me from winning than the actual opposing team at this point. Oh no, the flying headbutt. Imagine if that was to his face. That'd be crazy. I'm begging, I'm pleading, please. Oh no. God damn it. Yeah, he keeps trying to do, I think he keeps trying to do the gore into me onto the ropes. But I don't know, the AI is just, they didn't test it very well, clearly. But let's see, maybe I can, he's bleeding. Damn it. This is ridiculous. Watch, he's probably gonna kick out at like 1 or something. Please. God damn it, not even a rope. Come on. God, what? This is getting ridiculous. Alright, finally using my... God damn it. This is so stupid. Why would they do that to where they can just block your... God. Where they can just block you. Oh yeah, but it didn't block me from going into the corner. Yeah, whatever. Fair play game. I'm so glad that Rhino is just massively stupid. Although I do like that charge thing he does. He's gonna do it again, I guarantee. Yep. What an idiot. What a knucklehead McSpazatron. Right. No, I don't want to go after the ref. Dude, of course he's not getting knocked down. This is ridiculous. Are you serious? Okay, he's too scared to jump in. Mission failed successfully. It's kind of cool we worked out with Brock Lesnar in disrespect and ended up teaming up with him anyway. Like I said, it's very nice when, you know, storylines artificially come together. I don't know if it was planned because I interacted with him. We were gonna have the tag match later on or not, but it's always kind of cool storyline wise when things like that happen. And it's never a bad thing to be, you know, have the best superstar in the game on your team. But I guess he's on to bigger, better things now. Speaking of tag team matches, now we got another one. Elimination. I'm hoping with an elimination tag match that hopefully you know, they won't be running in as much. I don't think it really should affect anything, but I'm just hoping that it doesn't. But it seems like our main rival is Chris Benoit. Jeez, imagine going in from imagine going from Brock Lesnar as your partner to Steven Richards, the WWE champion to the Heat champion. It's interesting that they were going to actually introduce a Heat championship belt at one point. I don't think it would have really made a big difference, but it would have been kind of cool just to see what they would have come up with. Probably would have been like a really shitty toy belt. I think Stevie Richards and somebody else, was it Raven? I know like they just like were like, hey, nobody actually cares about Heat, so we're just gonna do our own thing. And Stevie Richards was saying about how he was the champion of Heat and all this goofy stuff. So when Stephanie McMahon approached Stevie Richards about, you know, making a Heat World Championship and having him as the champion or whatever, he said, yeah, we already have one. Which I think is honestly pretty funny. Sean O'Haire had a really cool look to him. Really awesome attire with the boots and everything. And his opening vignettes I think were really good. Like before he actually debuted, but I have to agree with a lot of people, you know, say Bruce Pritchard is a bullshitter and a liar, and he is. But one thing I definitely had to agree with him is the vignettes were really cool at first. But then when he actually debuted, it just came across as so unnatural, and the character just didn't work at all. You know, and it seemed like they tried a few things with him, a little bit, but I mean, they never really went anywhere, and it was just too bad. You know, it's too bad. I think he's gone now, unfortunately, which you never like to see. It's a really shitty industry with the wrestling business at times. But I will have to say, I mean, no disrespect to him, but when it came to like his in-ring character and stuff like that, what the hell are you doing, Stevie Richards? Oh, I guess he wants a Benoit all for himself. He wants a shot at WrestleMania 20. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. When I watched it, like the vignettes they did was awesome, but then when he was actually in the ring, I remember one of the cringiest things I've seen in wrestling. Not as far as unintentional, like cringe. I guess I'm trying to make sense. Like, obviously, there's a lot of cringy, like stupid stuff that they're trying to be serious and all this other goofy stuff. But things that like just you wouldn't even think, I guess, would be like bad, is when I think Hugh Morris or Bill DeMott, I forget what it was in WWE, was like bullying Brian Kendrick or something like that, or maybe it was Paul London, one of those two. And you know, Sean O'Hare just like told him to stop, and he said, "Hey, I'm not telling you anything you don't already know." And it was just really goofy and lame, and it was just cringe. It was just like, okay, let's get our catchphrase in, and that was when I was like, yeah, this guy's he had a lot of work to do. But then again, I mean, it's kind of unfair. You know, sometimes some people get second chances, others don't. It would have been nice to see Sean O'Hare because he was very unique, I will say. Okay, are you gonna do something or no? Alright then. Thanks for coming. But don't worry, Kane, I'll show you. You'll see. The Stevie kick, or the morality check is what I always know it as.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, there you go. Stevie Richards. I mean, I think it's second. Was he still Steven Richards? I know that's what it said on his name, but I could have swore it was Stevie Richards on the character select screen. And I thought he stopped being Steven Richards after Right to Censor, but like I said, I can't actually remember. I think this was when he was during his psychotic gimmick. I think it was last year's game where he was Dr. Stevie, but I can't quite remember. But looks like we're probably not going to get our world title shot. Maybe if I'm lucky, I'll get like an Intercontinental, well, not an Intercontinental, but like a United States title shot or something like that, or maybe they go for the tag team belts. It's not a bad WrestleMania stage. Alright, come on, baby. Let's see what we got for us. No, there's only 3 matches, but come on, you gotta give me something here. Gotta make myself look a little bit good here, you know, regain some honor. I've been doing good on Smackdown. I'm undefeated. Let's see what you got for me. Come on, come on. Alright, come on. People are going nuts because they want to see Kane in the main event. They are going nuts because they want to see Kane. A lot of matches they want to see, but the only match they want to see is Kane in the main event, especially the people watching this video. Come on, don't let me down here. Wow, there's actually a lot of fluff in between them announcing the matches here. Well, the anticipation is building. Come on, give me something. I'm begging you, please. No, I'm not on the card. Ah, jeez. I mean, I don't know. I definitely kind of seen it coming, and I think a big part of it was my fault. Not just for losing the Royal Rumble, but because I switched shows at the pretty much the worst possible time. So I'm sorry for those of you who are hoping to see Kane have his, you know, happy ending at WrestleMania. Well, that's a little bit of a downer. Unfortunately, this playthrough was kind of a bit of a failure, if I'm being honest, guys. I'm sorry about that. I got a few chances to be a world champion. I had some pretty decent storylines with taking on the Authority, Vince McMahon, Eric Bischoff, and whatnot. but I wasn't able to make it all come together with the Royal Rumble or against Triple H. So I will do a new playthrough with a different superstar at some point later on down the line. But for right now, we're just going to put this on the back burner. But what I want you guys to do, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. There is a poll up right now which will allow you to vote on when I'm going to start next week on Wrestling Wednesday. We got a few options there. We got the original Smackdown, Day of Reckoning, the original Legends of Wrestling, and of course we have, before all the Smackdown series and Yuke's games, we have WWF Attitude. If you guys are interested in watching that, just vote, and then I'm going to play whatever is the highest voted next Wednesday, of course. But once again, thank you guys for joining. Thank you for listening to my big rants and whatnot and my nonsense. But that's going to be the end of this playthrough for right now. So remember, above all else, to have a nice day.